Welcome back to another episode of Under the Fig Tree. This is a channel where I discuss the techniques, lessons, strategies that I've been learning from different ventures in my life. And for this episode, the fig tree in season is being a wrestling coach. So I would like to talk about things that I've been implementing in the wrestling room to sharpen the room. And that's things like giving the wrestlers the time and space to work on the things that work for them, finding ways to reignite energy in the room when motivation starts to dip, and building discipline through simple, consistent agreements. So, in addition to the elbow passes that we've been implementing, that's a technique in wrestling that I believe works. So, I've been taking time out of the regimen to practice just elbow passes, and I've been seeing some fruits from it. There's two elements to an elbow pass. You got to close the distance and you got to get the angle. Or first you got to get the angle, then close the distance. So those are two elements of it, and I've been seeing the wrestlers do those two things great. I'm still yet to see them do an elbow pass in a live match, but as far as those two benefits go, because those are two major things in wrestling, getting the angle and closing the distance fast, I've been seeing that work in other moves that they're doing. I think it's because of the elbow pass, because there's a lot of footwork that goes into the one that we do, and I've been seeing it happen in different situations. So that's a good thing. But the new thing that I've been implementing is bread and butter. So I've been giving them time in practice, and it's not like an intense drill. It's just focusing on improving your craft. So I tell them bread and butter. So basically the two best moves that they got in their toolbox when it comes to neutral position, standing up, and I tell them to work on the bread and butter, and they take their time with it, and they're just, honing their craft. So I think that doing this in practice is really good for the guys. Some people don't get that much time to work on their crafts. They should be doing this on their own time as well, but I just give them the time in practice to, like, let's say we have an intense drill. For them to recover, I would say work on your bread and butter, and then they just get better at that, and they get a little bit of a less intense type of practice in that moment. So the next thing I wanted to discuss was how to rejuvenate the room when the motivation starts to dim. So if you say do blast doubles for the whole practice, you'll see that the motivation starts to dim very quickly. So wrestlers need variation in practice to stay at an intense rate. So if you just do the same things and you don't do any variation of the practice, you don't move on to the next thing, they're going to start to die. So what you need to do, or what I've been doing, is I have the variation in practice, but I let them know that there's short time as well. So when they're doing this move for an extended period of time and they seem to be getting bored at it, they're not, intense anymore, I say short time, and that could be like maybe 2 more minutes, maybe 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds. And I also follow that with short time, last opportunities. So I frame it in a way that they should be valuing the next rep. If they're not valuing the next rep, they're not going to be wanting to go at a high rate. So when I frame it like that, I visually see in the wrestling room that they're picking it up, they're doing better, they're taking this serious. So that's something I've been doing, and I'm very happy that it's been working that well. So short time, last opportunities, stuff like that, and you could see visually that they're going to start pushing harder when I did that. So the last thing I wanted to discuss was the power of making deals. So we've been running the hill pretty consistently now, and when we run it, we sprint up it, and what they used to do was put their hands on their knees and sit down after we ran the hill. And I was taught by my old coach that you should never show weakness or, that you're tired. You should show your opponent, like, he should be wondering how much does he have in the tank left. He shouldn't know. Like, when I see someone that's tired when I'm wrestling, I'm looking at my chaps, I'm like, he's almost broke. But we're showing too much weakness, or some of us were, and I'm like, we have to change this. So I threw him a deal. I said, whoever puts their hands on their knees or sits down after we sprint this hill, we're going to have to do baby bears as a team and sprints. And as soon as I said that, nobody was doing it. One kid did do it, and he told me that he didn't hear me, I don't know if he was making an excuse or what, but I gave him that pass. But, after that, nobody put their hands on their knees or sat down. And I was very happy. We did like 5 of those reps, and people were tired, but they didn't sit down. They didn't put their hands on their knees. They recovered. I even made it a little bit, pushed it a little bit even harder. I said, you guys should be, look tough. So just, jump around, look tough, walk around the mat, stuff like that you would have to do. And that's the mindset that they need. So I'm okay with them not doing the baby bears and sprints after practice if they're, putting in quality work. And I know that mental training accumulates more than, the physical sprints and stuff like that. So if they have that mindset that if they're tired in a match that they're going to look tough, that stuff accumulates and it builds up. It's just more powerful than doing those sprints. So I'm very happy with the outcome, and I'm definitely going to have to throw more deals out there that have that type of benefit. Well, that's all I got for this episode of Under the Fig Tree. If you guys enjoyed, you could like, subscribe. I'll continue to keep you guys posted on things that I'm learning, implementing in this new position as a wrestling coach. And if you made it by the grace of God, do your job. Thank you.